Okay, here's another problem. This time, still in treble clef, I'm given a G flat and asked to write an augmented fifth above that G flat. Okay, I'm going to follow the exact same steps. First step, take care of the number part of the interval. It's a fifth, so that means I'll count 5 lines and spaces from the bottom note. Bottom note's on a line, so that line is going to be 1, the space above it 2, 3, 4, 5. So the new note will go on this line here. That's a fifth above my G flat. Okay, step 2, what do? We look at the circle of fifths and we find the key of G flat. There it is right there. G flat, according to our circle of fifths, has 6 flat notes in it. Let's look at the bead GCF tool. Here it is. Bead GCF. That tells us, okay, if there are 6 flats, B is flat, E, A, D, G, C. Everything is flat in this key except for F. So everything is supposed to be flat. Alright, I'm going to go ahead and write in that flat sign temporarily. That's why I always suggest you use pencil in my class, so we can change our mind later if we need to. So from G flat up to D flat. That's the way the circle of fifths says this interval should look. G flat, in the key of G flat, we should have a D flat above it. But we're trying to create an augmented fifth. So let's consult the interval chart to see what changes we might need to make. Okay, the interval chart tells us the fifth is one of these perfect intervals. And since we added that D flat, and the D flat, I'm sorry, that the circle of fifths told us we should have, from G flat up to D flat is a perfect fifth now, because both notes appear the way the circle of fifths says they should appear. Okay, we're going to turn the perfect fifth we have into an augmented fifth. And remember, the significance of the arrow going up means that we need to adjust the accidentals so that the 2 notes are a half step farther apart. Okay? An augmented fifth is the 2 notes are farther apart than a perfect fifth. Alright, let's look at the keyboard. G flat and D flat. Here is G, that's G flat. Here is D, so that's D flat. G flat to D flat. This is our perfect fifth. Okay, G flat here, D flat there. The interval chart says we need these 2 notes a half step farther apart to be augmented. So I'm going to take this D flat on the top and move it up a half step to create an interval that's a half step farther apart than a perfect fifth. D flat up to D natural. So D natural would be an augmented fifth higher than G flat. So what do? I just erase that flat sign, and the correct answer, an augmented fifth above G flat, is D natural.